Sbu MaLawyer, ikrashka antwako.
It's Trendz o'clock and welcome. Coming up is loads of exciting news up our sleeve, including fashion, therapy and good music. I'm Nkosazana Dambuza and welcome to another exhilarating, colourful show. Don't forget to communicate with us at Trendz on SABC, and your comments are also appreciated on X. Now, we start with this story. We celebrate Pride Month by highlighting some key conversations around the LGBTQI+ and explore how the word authenticity impacts and how we perceive and celebrate sexuality. Selepe Maifadi attended a luncheon that was held at Ethos in Rosebank earlier this month, where one of the most loved content creators, Lasizwe, was celebrated for dominating spaces in the creative space and doing it authentically.
Hello, hi, my name is Lasizwe and we are here in Rosebank celebrating Pride Month. As you can see, all the gorgeous darlings are having lunch. All my media and colleague friends are here to celebrate Pride Month.
The big conversation for today is celebrating authenticity. What does that look like for you?
What authenticity looks like for me is being yourself without any reservations from either the world, the society, and yourself as well, and living true to your being and empowering others to do the same.
Living in your truth, be able to be your authentic self, the authentic version of yourself. I think we spend, especially in our community, so much time trying to assimilate, trying to be accepted, trying to fit in. And it's so wonderful to be able to walk in your truth, whatever that looks like.
I mean, you've always been so brave at coming out and showcasing on being who you are, you know? How have you been feeling about, like, the first time when you started introducing this? How is your family responding to that?
Well, you should be asking him. How did you respond when you first found out I was gay?
It was a rocky ride. But we're used to it now. It wasn't something, I mean, you have to understand, guys, where I grew up, Ekasi, you know, things like this. Something you know. So we just need exposure, we just need more education, you know.
October, of course, is Pride Month. What kind of things do you think we should be concentrating more on in terms of conversations that will open us up more and be more knowledgeable about what pride issues are?
I think we have enough NGOs who are talking about the Pride agenda. For me, the big thing is talking about Pride business. Okay, so so many of the businesses that we see every day, you know, the motoring brands, the online platforms, they will always change their branding just for Pride Month. But what does that mean? What are you doing on a Monday to Friday to make sure that you're investing back into the community? It's nice for you to bring a beautiful vehicle and put the colors on there. That's beautiful. But what are you doing to make sure that you advance the LGBTIQ agenda, for you to advance the communication, the conversation? And in your organization, in your employees, when they talk about their company they work for, do they speak about a company that's inclusive, that sees them for who they are? Do you have gender-neutral bathrooms? Do you have places that are safe for people who are not like everyone else in the business? For me, it's about trying to move to the next level. I think in South Africa, with close to 30 years of democracy, the conversation's been had ad nauseum. It has to continue to be had, but let's look at ways now where we can advance the conversation to where the money is, because my pink dollar makes sure that this economy grows. So give me a space in the economy.
I actually just think, you know, the Pride community should exist in the same way that heterosexual community does. And the one thing that, you know, the heterosexual community should do, for me, has to personally be allow people to be. And it's not that deep. It's really not that deep. Yes, there are important conversations we need to have, like women's rights. You know, the other day I was saying that women are having the same struggle as me as a trans woman, and being black as well. So there are issues that are affecting all of us, and all of them are being economized. So yeah, the tech people are making money out of us being wild in online and everywhere else. So we must just be and let each other be.
You guys are aligned with a very big brand who is, of course, Lasizwe. Tell us a bit about this alignment. How did you see Lasizwe to be a fitting person to be part of this brand?
We believe in influencer partnerships that are centered around the core of who we are and what we believe in, right? So when a talent like Lasizwe, who's bold, who boldly proclaims who he is, who's unafraid, who does groundbreaking things, and who's authentic, is someone that we obviously want to have within our records and partner with.
How did you come into connection with the brand and say, you know what, this aligns with my character and definitely it's a yes for me?
Firstly, I want to give a big shout out to the group CEO, Theo Baloy, for just, you know, standing for inclusivity and diversity. You know, whenever you walk into the Batu offices, you don't feel like there's a gay office or you know, it's everyone there.
To that.
You know, everyone is equal. And when I walked into the office there, that's the first thing I spotted, and I was like, I want to work with these people.
I actually think brands should do more of this, because it's not so special for a queer person to be on a campaign. It is special because it's very rare in South Africa, and I'd like to really commend Batu for doing it. But at the same time, I'm like, other brands, wake up and do what you gotta do. Wake up and actually, face the music and give people what they deserve. Queer people are very influential. They've been influential in fashion for a very long time. They've been influential in culture, in like pop culture. So it's time for them to be in the forefront and give them the opportunity to be.
Shout out to Trendz Live for coming through and supporting the LGBTI community. To everyone that supports the community and loves us, we love you back. And shout out to the LGBTQI, her.
You'll nostalgically remember him from his amazing works with groups such as Mashamplan and TKZ. With a music career spanning over 25 years, Kwaito Legend Sbu MaLawyer, also known as Grootmaneline Swag and Style, is choosing to empower the youth with his latest music project. His latest album is a touching amalgamation of meaningful Kwaito with some amapiano beats as well. You heard him earlier with the Dallas Gudla, and now Sbu MaLawyer joins us with his beatmaker Vince Lasol to talk about the next chapter. Thanks, James, for joining us. How are you?
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I have a legend in front of me.
Yeah, Mashampla.
Yeah.
Mashampla.
25 years and You're still going strong. Yeah. Well done. But how do you keep the love for your craft?
First of all, I'll say, it's very important to embrace God, you know, and make sure that He's the one who gives the strength and the power, you know.
Yeah.
But more than anything, I'll be lying if I say there's any magic that makes me to keep this good and keeps me this long. It's because of His grace.
Absolutely.
And also the support from the people in the township, because everywhere I go, kunabantu abaningi that admires me, you know. So I make sure that I must look good because there's people that they look at me as a role model.
Yeah.
So I think that keeps me going.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
love it. All glory to God.
Thanks.
Now, Vince, I want to come to you. Obviously, you feel fortunate to be working with such a legend, but why do you think it's important for legends such as himself to groom the future stars of the industry?
First and foremost, I'm really privileged to be standing right next to him, actually. Growing up listening to TKZ Family, seeing him on the Fiasco video, to standing next to him, it's an honor. Just had to say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually a good thing for the youth and like for people that are, the young guys that are coming up. It also helps to keep the music alive and it will give the youth an opportunity to rise in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sbu, I want to come back to you. Your latest project, let's talk about this album.
Okay.
It obviously has evolved over the 25 years, but what is new from you that we can expect in this album?
Okay. What we did, actually, I met Jakes. Jakes is one of the household producer. I think you know him, like he produced your Zahara, your Ndando,
Yeah.
to name the few. Even my first album, MaLawyer,
Yeah.
Jakes was part of that, Mnati Fellow was part of that. So me and him, we gathered, Sis Ruth, Saturday, let's come up with a celebration, because I wanted to celebrate Usbu, but I wanted to find a way to celebrate it differently.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, we sat down, then we came up with an idea of celebrating a 25-year celebration of Sbu MaLawyer in the music industry.
Yeah.
But how we did it, we said, let's also have a taste, a different taste than just to do an album.
Yeah.
And have young boys and young girls to give, like Vince, he came up with a beat, Yamakumgelela. There's another boy, Futu Teams, and I also came up with a beat.
Yeah.
So Jakes, what he gave me, Sbu, if you want to do this, let's be relevant to the market. Let's rather not do it in Kwaito style, but let's do it in Mapiano,
Yeah.
fusing Kwaito
Yeah.
within, you know,
Yeah.
so that is going to be relevant to the market. So that's why I'm saying we have people like Abo Vinci, Abashama Piano Beat.
Yes.
So then I think the rest is when people want to see the song, when we perform on stage,
Absolutely.
when they hear the songs on radio.
Yeah.
But the album is out. Actually, it's coming out this Friday.
Awesome.
And people must celebrate with us.
Awesome. I love how you've evolved from Kwaito to Amapiano.
Yes.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, because it's the same family. I
Yeah.
mean, piano, ipiano, abantwana be Kwaito.
Yeah.
So it evolves from there. It's a transformation from Kwaito to Amapiano.
Absolutely.
So it's a transformation of the sound,
Yeah.
and which is good. And
Yeah.
that is why I'm saying, okay, let's branch into it so that we are relevant to the
Yeah.
market.
And you're big on youth empowerment, right? So how
Definitely.
have you achieved this so far?
The good thing is that we could able to get boys from Alexandra, Soweto, and others from. We were fortunate to get one boy from Eastern Cape, another one from Mtubatuba. There's a song Esenzilethi Ngempela. They are featured on that song. So the good thing is that I could able to feature these boys and young boys and young girls, which are not which are unknown artists, because we are focusing on unknown artists to give them exposure.
I love
That's
it.
what we're doing most on this project.
Let's hear it from the horse's mouth. Vince, how have you benefited from working with the Grootman Lasizwe and staff?
Honestly, I've learned a lot, like how to maneuver in the game. I actually even met a couple of upcoming artists that I wished definitely we're gonna work together. And yeah, I've benefited a bit much. Like I've learned a couple of things of how to just get around this industry.
And how does your future look now that you associated with the greats?
It's looking bright. It's looking good. It's looking good. I'm excited. There's still more work to be done. Obviously, I'm still gonna have to make some few more songs with the big homie and the fellas and the whole team.
Yeah.
But it's looking good.
Love it. Now, what are some of the themes that you touch on in the songs in the album?
Okay, on the song, people must expect the song that I did, Ingempela. Ingempela is a tribute to the ones we lost in the music industry. So basically, it's a tribute to AKA Makesh, you name them, Abu, all the guys that we like, Abashile. The Ingempela is a dedication to it's a tribute to that. And then I've got another song which is Dala School. Dala School, that's a main song that is talking about the celebration of the album.
Yeah.
Because ikhuluma ngestyle yami, ikhuluma ngami, usikhrothmanele nesweka, hamba ubuza umama, hamba ubuza ubabakho, because they know where we come from. I'm a 2000 years abasazi, but it's good for them when they ask their mother and their fathers, because at some stage, when they see me on TV, they'll say, "Oh, my crush," they will love to see to hang around and have, So this is why that elevated Itala school has more the influence of that. But at the same time, celebrating Uguba no muntu wako for years in the relationship, So basically, the message is across the music industry and across the relationship, and also reminding Jobang Shilama 2000 which ubuzuma mako, because umamako megang mone TV, you're my crush, so so basically I'm celebrating that, and it's good to we could able to get these young boys and young girls to participate on the project. And I would like to thank Jakes for him to believe in this project, to Ruth for believing in this project.
Yeah.
I mean, they made a wonder on it.
You crush your marriage. I my God, I love the confidence. I love the confidence, and I absolutely love what you're doing with young people right here. I'm sure their future is so much brighter because of you. Now, who else will you feature in the album that we can expect?
Okay, on the album I featured only the upcoming, let me be honest. And the journey is still going, because I need to also feature others from the other provinces, because we couldn't able to go to that far. But the little that we could able to do, we just told the boys from Alexander, Soweto, and few from Mtuba and the Eastern Cape. It was wonderful. Some from Fosloras,
Pretoria.
Pretoria, so we have, But now the plan is to go to other provinces, because we're going to do a tour. When each and every province where we visit, we're going to also give opportunity to the young ones, and also bring the producers and I'll be happy also to bring the prominent guys who are happening in the industry to participate in this. This is not about Usbu, but it's about the entire country. I mean, I'm starting this to open doors for everyone since I'm a legend. But I'll be happy one day to work with Umaporisa, work with Tukabza, work with the big names that are happening in the game together and say, let's grow Mabu Spikiri, the guys that I started with, Abumdu, and all of them. Together this and say, let's give young guys an opportunity. Let's explore young talent.
Listen, I would love to hear a collaboration with Maporisa. Please, Maporisa, if you can hear this, like hint, nudge, And after all that empowerment, I just want to say congratulations on a 25-year-long musical journey. You are amazing. You're phenomenal. And I can't wait to see what you're going to do on the stage. So over to you.
Thank you so much.
Some of us may still be struggling with shedding off our winter weight, and if getting to the gym this summer is still quite a struggle for you, then perhaps it's time to seek an alternative for keeping fit. Do ropes, hoops, silks and hammocks sound like something you would fancy? Well, Trendz joined aerial artists at the Cirque in Jersey to discover how this art form is a holistic approach to mental fitness, especially with October being Mental Health Awareness Month. Let's pick their brains.
Welcome to what seems like a normal day of exercising. Excitedly, I joined the warm-up session, anticipating a thrilling time of aerial therapy. You see, often we watch these enthusiasts at shows, but did you know that you too can join their classes for various advantageous reasons?
Compared to the gym, obviously it's the same apparatus, and as much as this is the same apparatus every time, we have different ways of using it that makes it more fun and flowy. In terms of getting out of the gym, it's a bit more like physical, in the sense you're putting your body through positions you've never been in before. You're adding the strength and the flexibility together, because you can't just go onto an apparatus and just do physical strength stuff. As much as it's impressive, we want the pretty stuff, and people enjoy watching that, and people enjoy coming out of it going, I did a pretty split today.
So, relentlessly I attempt climbing the silks with the help of an instructor, of course, and then realize how much strength it actually requires. I just couldn't lift myself into the air. So after a few tries, it just made sense to rather leave the aerial therapy to those who consider it a familiar territory.
I don't think it takes a certain person to be able to do it. I think anyone can do it. It's whether they try that changes it. So a lot of people will do it because it takes a lot of body strength, it takes a lot of time, and after the first try they'll fall and then they'll stop.
What is it that's so thrilling about it for you?
For me, honestly, would be testing my limits and building my strengths. Being in the air in different apparatuses is very different. So if I'm in the trapeze, I feel safer in some places than I do others, or in silks, sometimes I have the feeling of, am I going to get silk burn, or, like, is my skin safe here? But other than that, I don't think there's much that goes through your mind other than concentrating on where your placement is and how you're going to drop or doing something new.
Why do you do aerial therapy?
Aerial therapy is life-changing. It is fun. It lets you meet new people. It opens and challenges you to do different things you never thought you could. So it's a different chapter. It makes you look like those models on magazines, which I've always wanted to look like as a child. It helps you learn to work with people, team building, break out of your shell.
Why would you recommend this form of exercise from a very young age?
Okay, first things first is children need discipline. This is very good for discipline, mind awareness, body awareness. You know how your body works, you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses. So if it's from a young age, you will grow up with knowledge of knowing everything about you.
So what attracted me was the strength you build, the core, the flexibility, and always being active and challenging every body muscle in your body. And meeting people also, they challenge you, motivating you.
What's the feeling of being in the air?
The activities and the feeling in the air, it's amazing. Sometimes I still get scared of doing new things, but once you feel that you're confident with doing it, then like being in the air, the higher you go, it's just more exciting. This is definitely something that can become a career. You can travel overseas, go on ships, and there's so many places that can also want to book you as a performer. And if you have different type of skills that no one else can do.
You are lifted into the air most of the time, seemingly defeating gravity. And while doing so, your health and lifestyle are getting a facelift.
It is also a bit more exciting than just daily living, so it adds a bit more of a adrenaline kick to your day, because every class we bring something different. So you'll always learn something new every week, and it's always a new challenge to kind of put yourself in a difficult spot. And obviously in the beginning it's going to be hard because you're still getting used to it, but once you're in it and you're learning new things, eventually you can put through a routine. You can do it at our student showcase. If you really want to take it further, you can continue doing it and become a part of our artist program where you start doing shows for corporates and all of that stuff. So in terms of daily lifestyle, it adds a bit more of an adrenaline rush because you're going up into the air, you're not staying on the solid ground where you're comfortable, you're stepping out of your comfort zone and you're adding a little bit more of a rush into your day.
And perhaps it's the fascinating equipment that makes aerial therapy so much more intriguing.
We are in our storeroom. We have got our hoop. This is also an aerial apparatus. We've got our globe. We've got our trapezes. You might see this in a lot of circus acts. We've also got our hammocks. We've got different ranges of our hoops. As you see, we've got our chains. The best part about this is we use calisthenics. So you train off your own body weight. You use your own body strength. The entertainment in it is you can either be a performer or you could watch it. It's really wonderful. It's also good for your mind, your health, your body. You don't need weights to gym with this. This is all self-reliant. It teaches you trust. It teaches you how to build upon your own confidence. Yeah, it's really lovely.
It's basically a combination of like acrobatics. We do a bit of dancing. A lot of it is strength in the air. So picture gymnastics, but now floating.
Why is it fulfilling and why are you going to keep doing it?
Because it's fun. It's unique. Not many people do it. People seeing you do it makes them happy. As well as there's money in this industry. And money can buy happiness in this sense.
It appears as though not many males are intrigued by this art form. Why would you recommend it to guys too?
Men are always masculine. They always think it makes them look softer or feminine or however, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I recommend it for males that want to build their strength, they want to build their character. I mean, there's also ladies there. Guys, come on. Yeah, it's for strength. It's really good for you. Instead of gymming with weights and straining your body, learn your body and gym with that.
Aerial therapy. Now that's certainly an unorthodox way of keeping physically fit and certainly remaining mentally strong.
On to this now. South Africa's biggest fashion event, SA Fashion Week, is in full swing, staging the Autumn-Winter 23 collections at Mall of Africa. This year marks 41 seasons since the biggest fashion extravaganza's inception. 27 fashion designers are expected to showcase their new collections. Now, Trendz live producer Asanda Azondi attended the event's opening party. Let's have a look.
We are within one of the biggest events in the fashion social calendar, SA Fashion Week. Customarily, the overture to the Fashion Week is full of fun activities, starting off with the opening party, where the who's who in fashion, influencers and celebrities partied the night away.
Fashion designers, consumers, media personalities, buyers from around the continent are all gathered here for the SA Fashion Week opening party. For some, fashion is a form of statement. For others, it's art. And for others, it's an expression of culture. Whatever it is to you, just let there be style. And on that note, it's lights, camera, fashion.
The direction of fashion right now, things are unstructured. The pants are getting big. The shoes are getting like all elevated. So it's important being a creative person to keep on like, not to run with the trends, to run with what's unfolding internationally.
I'm channeling the Statue of Liberty here tonight. Absolutely happy that I could do that. I think you need to be daring. You don't need to be afraid. You'll try a few times and you'll get it right. But today I was absolutely trying to do it the artistic way.
Today when I was like, okay, I'm going there, and I was like, what I'm gonna wear? But I was like, no, colors, number one, colors. Said I've never wore black and blue, so let me just try something black and blue and see. Then then I put that, and I was trying something new. Yes.
I love the blue because it's gelling into the summer. It's coming through as fresh and like it's like a beachy kind of look. And that's what I was going for.
I don't even have to say anything. My outfit itself, it says New York. This is obviously out of the box. Obviously it's New York is the theme. But obviously, I mean, because we are in Africa, this is South Africa, we are celebrating African designers. A bit of, some beats just to say this is, we're giving you New York. However, we're still adding just a bit of, Africa.
What are we going to see men wearing more this summer?
Well, this summer it's all about floral. Obviously, floral has always been big, but the most interesting fabric that is back right now is linen. So linen, like wide-legged pants, linen shirts, linen blazers. So we're kind of like going almost a minimalistic route, but at the same time, more is more in terms of the volume.
Yeah, I would like to see, men be comfortable with different designs. You know, we always want to go safe. We always want to be safe. So go all out. Let's play. Let's play with the designs. You know. So next time, I would like to see men going all out.
I think I'd go for shirts and shorts.
Shirts and shorts.
And some nice sneakers.
I think man bags is something that should be looked at when it comes to the men. It's something that's interesting, as well as like earrings and stuff.
What do you want to see on the runway?
The spectrum is just so broad. You know, I can't say there's one specific thing that I'm looking for. We are so global. We are so free. The fact that we are also like, I don't know, I just feel like we've just gotten, our designers have gotten to a point where they are just free to do whatever they want. So you can never know what to expect.
I'm looking forward to our South African take on the International Fashion, New York Fashion Week. I'm also looking forward to our heritage being shown in the designs this year.
And what about you?
Yeah, I think that's so important. Just having our South African footprint like recognized on an international platform, and just to also just, you know, I think South African designers especially sometimes tend to always want to follow the Western or European market, and I think just really finding their grounding and showcasing that, looking forward to it.
What I would really like to see is inclusivity in the models, in the designers that showcasing the work, you know, something out of the norm, something we have not seen as of yet, because I feel that the fashion industry lately, especially in South Africa, is very repetitive. You know, what we see on the runway is, you know, just a retake on what we saw last season. So I would really like to see something different, something else, something that's going to make me think twice.
Just to see all the talent. I mean, already tonight I've seen such amazing, you know, outfits that people have created. So it's so great to be creative, because I love my creative side.
You see how I'm dressed? I'm wearing shorts and I'm wearing a jacket. It's more of a look that maybe a man would take. But I'd like to see something like this, like something that is funky, different, out of the ordinary, less of the dresses, but more of the drip.
I am looking for something new, something refreshing, something that screams Africa, but I'm not trying to be somebody who's not trying to roll with trends. I'm definitely trying to let everybody in. So if you're new, you're urban, and you represent Africa, that's what I'm looking for today.
It takes a revolution to make a solution. This is indeed an iconic moment which puts African fashion on the global map. Happy Fashion Weekend.
It's starting to feel a lot like the weekend, right? Well, stay tuned. There's a lot more where that came from. I'll see you after the break. Just in case. We are celebrating International Chefs Day today, and what better way to do it other than dancing to a tune that really celebrates the cookery skills of our chefs. We are joined in studio by musician Ngasi and SA Chefs General Manager Thandeka. This, as the association is today launching what they call an anthem for chefs, written and performed by Ngasi. You're going to hear it first here on Trendz Live, Singaba Pegi, the South African chef's anthem. Ngasi and Thandeka, welcome to Trendz Live.
Thank you.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Are you well?
Yes.
Listen, Ngasi, I want to start with you. You've released this beautiful songs dedicated to chefs. I love cooking. Okay, so I want to know, what inspired the song?
A lot of inspiration honestly came from my own love for the culinary arts, more particularly in the baking side of life, because as you can actually hear in the song, like right in the beginning, there's me talking about Mama's famous muffins. And I remember being 8 years old and basically playing around in the kitchen with my brothers and basically being those cuties, just trying to lick the last bits of the muffin batter in the bowl, and then it turned into a wonderful love for cooking. And that's a lot of that, as well as just the general love that we have as our country as a whole around cooking.
Absolutely. And Thandeka, I want to come to you. Please remind us briefly what the SA Chefs Association is all about.
The South African Chefs Association is an association for the chefs, cooks, and anybody with any culinary skills, for that matter. What we do, we represent our chefs. We educate them. We, link them up with any opportunity that we'll have as chefs to celebrate them in all aspects.
And I absolutely love that. Now, you've used different languages in the song.
Yes.
Why did you do that?
Well, honestly speaking, it would be disingenuous as a South African to only choose either simply English or maybe the language that I speak is Xhosa. I had to make sure that I opened it up and represent pretty much as many people and as many colors as possible within the tiny time frame that the song runs for.
Absolutely. And Thandeka, commissioning the song to be an anthem for chefs, how did that decision come about? Talk to me about that.
Well, it was a no-brainer, you know. Finally, somebody had the time to sit and write, and I think it just tells a story that everybody resonates with. You know, that whole story starts with somebody's mom in the kitchen. I think we can all relate to it, and getting it out there is one exciting thing that we're doing. We're being new, you know, catching up to what everybody else is doing out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Gasi, you've named some dishes in the song. Are you really trying to make us hungry while we're dancing?
Well,
why did you do that?
Honestly speaking, I needed to make very sure that if it is I'm going to be talking about something that's proudly South African and an addition to the chefs worldwide, I need to let them know exactly what it is we have here. So, we need them to know exactly what it is that we like over here. That's pretty much the reason I had that in.
Yeah. And why did you choose specifically Ngasi for this song?
He's done a lot of work in the industry.
Yeah.
You know, he's worked with KB. So he's still young, so he can pick up the new fresh beat. You know, he resonates with the young chefs that we don't want to lose along the way, because the chefing industry goes a long way back, and we're never going to lose that. And having somebody this young perform that, I think we run a better chance of capturing the younger audience, the younger chefs, getting them excited about this journey.
Absolutely. And Gasi, writing a whole chef's anthem, what does this mean for your career?
It means a great deal, honestly speaking, because just calling it an anthem is something that at first I was very skeptical about, because I'm like, how is this going to be the de facto song that people think when they're in their kitchens doing things? That's a very scary thing for me. But I'm very happy and very proud to know that it's going to be something that's not only obviously going to be large for me, but large for the association and cooks all over the country.
Absolutely. I must say, I'm definitely going to be jiving while cooking. Like, the song is a jam. I had a bit of a preview with it. Yeah, I know I'm going to be doing the things well. And besides, you know, the song, what else are you working on?
Well, I can definitely say that I am working towards things I cannot necessarily put dates on, but there's definitely quite a bit of music that's going to be on the way. A few collaborations with a few people that you may know, people that are going to be known soon. But again, can't put any dates on that, can't say anything too much right now.
All right. And Thandeka, do you think that chefs are being promoted enough? And what can we do to promote their work more in this country?
It can never be enough. You know, there's a new chef being born every day. And for them to be promoted more is for them to be involved, for them to be part of the conversations. I mean, there's so many events that are happening. And I think chefs are food is given. You know, an event is happening and you know definitely there'll be food. But that's not even discussed. You know, we can discuss the deco, everything else, but that becomes a given. So if we become top of the topic, you know, when you're talking tourism, we're talking accommodation, we're talking places to see, we're not talking enough about chefs.
Absolutely.
So I think us talking about it, singing about it, I think that was a good start. You know, singing about it, talking about it. There's a lot that the chefs are doing that are behind the scenes. I mean, they spend so much time in the kitchen. They're not out there. And who better else to talk about them? People like Ngesi singing about them, posting them on social media, all those opportunities and the great things that they do. I mean, celebrating World Chef's Day tomorrow, I think also that puts a spotlight on them. Unfortunately, not so many people know about it, but we'll get there.
Absolutely. You're so right. Like, when we walk away from an event, nobody thinks, oh, you know what, credits to the chef. No, we don't do that enough.
No, unfortunately.
And Ngasi, you are a graduate, right? You're like a qualified musician, and you've been exposed to all sorts of genres. So what genre is Singapapegi?
Well, Sngabapeke is currently, like I made it, or I'm still making it. It is the current lexicon of our mainstream music, which is Amapiano, which is, I think, a second forte into it. And it had to happen because, again, it is something that resonates with the people right now, but it's definitely something that also is not just a local flavor, but is a very global sound. So literally, it's going to be something that's going to pop out and go far.
Absolutely. And just very quickly, what are some of the events that we can expect from SA Chefs Association?
Tomorrow, we've got a golf day in Wanderers, and we're also celebrating the World Chefs Day.
Absolutely. Yeah. Is there anything else, maybe in December, Nyana, where we're all going to be, having fun?
As the association, no, because our chefs get quite busy in their day-to-day. Yeah. So as the association, we don't have any planned event. November, December gets very busy. Oh. Yes, but we're looking forward to, we celebrating our 50th anniversary next year.
Nice.
So that's where we're looking forward to all the big events that we might have. So look out for that.
We'll definitely keep a lookout for that. And thank you so much for joining me on the show today. I absolutely love the fact that you're embracing and celebrating chefs. We don't do enough of that, quite honestly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So well done on your initiative, and keep going forward, man. And listen, you keep cooking while cooking music and then cooking food. Now, this week we celebrate International G&T Day and transformed it into a journey of creativity. A well-known gin brand invited us on a gin route where we learned about the techniques and a creativity, or rather a dash of creativity, to create concoctions that delight the senses. And here's a lesson on how you can make a cocktail inspired by art this summer season.
International Gin and Tonic Day is observed every year on October the 19th. Gin and tonic is one of the most popular cocktails in the modern world. From a classic G&T with a twist of lime to innovative concoctions featuring exotic fruits, herbs and spices, a well-known gin brand started a campaign, So This Made This Gin Root. The gin root is made of different quintessential bars to create a gin-infused adventure where bartenders craft one-of-a-kind G&Ts with a creative twist.
It's called the gin root, and it includes 5 exquisite bars in Joburg. And what has happened is that these exquisite bars essentially want to give you a spectacular, out-of-the-world gin-infused experience at their restaurants, and they have brought along bartenders to collaborate with local artists to create art, to create a cocktail inspired by the local creators' art. So we're moving from one bar to the other to experience the art by the creators, and the art is so cool because the art has a drink that matches up the whole creative process.
These mixtures are inspired by the incredible work of top local artists, promising to awaken your artistic senses, tantalize your taste buds, and create memories that will last a lifetime.
So my inspiration actually came from a sunset. I'm obsessed with nature. I love being outside, and I was in Clarence and I saw a black sky red sunset, and from that I created a beautiful image, and then I collaborated with a bartender to come up with a cocktail called Twilight, and the cocktail looks like the picture.
I was inspired by a bougainvillea plant. It's something that you see throughout all seasons, and I made a whole fashion outfit based on sustainable materials such as twill, all kinds of things. And the cool thing about it is that I got to collaborate with a mixologist who, based on what I made, got to make a drink inspired by that. So she got to choose the flavors and what she was inspired by, maybe the textures that I used, or how I went about my my process.
So the name of the drink is called Sleeping Beauty, inspired by her jacket called The Awakening Garden, right? And she used bougainvilleas, which are very purple and pink, and I wanted to incorporate that. So I like sweeter elements and I like a softer taste. I saw this and I made this, and that was it basically.
The inspiration behind the art piece, it's imagination. The inspiration is transcending present circumstances, looking beyond our memory and our perception and creating our reality.
My artwork, I created at the end of last year. It's this beautiful, oversaturated, almost nostalgic image of a friend of mine. Her name is Mxwembu. She's a nail artist, and she's holding this nachi tangerine in her hands, and I really love the sort of contrast that is created by the sort of delicate hands and the sort of like supple like fruit, and the sense of like glamour and nostalgia, kind of transferring that into the cocktail. That was the main aim between me, the artist, and the cocktail artist, Caitlin.
What can you say to someone who wants to try this when they at home they want to put together an art-inspired cocktail?
So I think what you have to do is always be inspired by your surroundings. Look around you, there's beauty everywhere. So find something to inspire you and create something from that. So that's all that it is. Find inspiration. Inspiration is everywhere.
Good night, Trenders. It's been a thrill having you. Let's do it again next week, Friday at 8 p.m. Keep it locked on SABC News Channel 404. Now, we have Ngasi performing a song he released today called The Singa by Peggy. Have a great weekend and enjoy.
Every story starts in a humble kitchen. Feeding every soul inside is the main mission. Mama's famous muffins, plate of hake and chips. Tales that we tell with every single dish. From the township to city lights, our flavors at tasty heights. Sikaba Peggy, Umutraba Peggy. From the township to city lights, our flavors at tasty heights. Sikaba Peggy, Umutraba Peggy. Basemzan's Africa. I go SA chefs, yeah, 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 SA